Who are you?
I'm your prom date, you ugly sack of shit. My name, by the way, is Dante. But you can call me Dante the Demon Killer. Has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
Oh DmC, there just was no place for you in this world. From the moment people laid eyes upon you, you lost because you weren't Devil May Cry 5, a game that at this point wasn't even sure to ever exist.
My name is Dante.
DmC Devil May Cry is a take by British developer Ninja Theory on the popular demon hunting franchise, normally developed in-house by the folks over at Capcom. There are probably two reasons for this. Number 1. Capcom fired most of the people that knew how to make DmC games when they disbanded Studio Clover, prompting the creation of Platinum Games and an angel hunting witch that puts Dante's antics to shame. At the same time, Hideaki Itsuno and his team, who created the successful and awesome Devil May Cry 4, were busy with the Dragon's Dogma development. Number 2. Capcom, like a lot of Japanese publishers at the time, had somewhat of an identity crisis, fearing that if they didn't change the way they design games to appeal to Western gamers, they'd perish in the wake of the CODs and GTAs of the Xbox Live generation. A fear that just now has started to quell in the light of recent success by Japanese teams, to be honest. I vividly remember how the channel discussion on the game was more about Dante's hair color and disrespecting a Japanese IP than the actual game itself.
I'm a million years.
Best proof of that is a look at the reviews from back then. Fans of the original DmCs were for the most part way more negative on the game, while people not as deep invested in the franchise and most independent game journalists were much more open on Ninja Theory's work. For this video, I played through the 2015 released Definitive Edition on my PS4, as this version has a great number of improvements over the original release. More to that, however, later. Anyway, the stylish reboot starts with a night out at the club. This introduces two things right away: the central theme of society undermined and controlled by demons, and the industrial bass heavy OST by Combichrist and Noisia.
Can't stay awake, buried alive. I cannot breathe this poison air filled with lies. I cannot see what's done to me. Live in fear, the sun is falling from the sky. Can't stay awake. Nothing left to break my life is in. Now 1,000 pieces, million reasons. Why should I keep myself away? Hard to define. It always says it's hard to scream with your throat full of glass. I cannot help it, can't decline. It's always better down the line. I'm in the wrong, and I've done it all before. And I wish I'd never been. And I know it's just a dream. Now I'm blind, I can't open my eyes. Can't stay awake.
The young Dante isn't exactly what you call careful, neither in the demon nor in the STD sectors, so he and two strippers from the club decide to have a little after party at his grimy trailer parked in an old amusement park. That's some serial killer stuff. Next thing you know, his future goth girlfriend and the demonic version of Dog the Bounty Hunter are knocking at his door. Attacked by the hunter demon, Dante picks up his belongings while on the run in Limbo, a hell version of the real world, not able to be seen by normal humans. This allows the developers to get really creative with the level design, as in the Limbo dimension of the areas, pretty much anything is possible. One thing I really like is text on the wall, constantly talking to Dante, giving you the feeling that the world itself wants you dead. Well, it is, with the constant swifting of the impossible space trying to get you. The carnage this causes in the human world gets turned into terrorist acts courtesy of Dante by the demon-run media, further showing the control over the public.
Breaking news. We go live to our eye in the sky. Steve, I can't believe what I'm seeing.
As you face the first enemies of the game, let's talk about the combat. Starting out with the familiar Rebellion sword and ebony and ivory handguns, the game still feels like a Devil May Cry character action game with the familiar stinger, high times and handbreakers. Stylish combo combinations get praised by the screaming combo meter, and each enemy gives you orbs to upgrade bars and buy new skills for your arsenal. Ninja Theory tried to streamline Dante's gameplay style. To this end, the different styles from Swordmaster to Gunslinger are all combined in one Dante moveset. With the B button you easily pull off special moves you had to activate their corresponding style before. This makes fighting easier, but also slightly more limited in combo variety than in the old games. This Dante is slightly less graceful while fighting than the OG, but I really like the feeling you get when he puts all of his weight in the swings of his weapons. Hits feel heavy and satisfying. Keep your eyes open running through the hellish park and discover secrets like lost souls, keys and challenge doors, a mainstay of the series. The girl guiding you through the park, her name is Cat by the way, uses the ancient magic of the Molotov cocktail to make the hunter vulnerable in a gaping scar on his face. This is how the first boss fight starts. I prefer it when you put a more visual impressive boss at the start, but while being basic, he is still a fun boss fight. Dodge his knife stabs, his grappling hook, and be ready for sudden darkness. All that is left to do is hit him in the face and end it.
Or mother. I don't know my mother, but if you're calling me a son of a bitch, you wouldn't be the first.
Cat explains to Dante that she'd like to introduce him to the resistance leader. Dante at first declines this, as she's more the loner type, but comes through as he kind of owes Cat for helping him with the hunter.
All about you, Dante. I'm with an organization called The Order. Heard of it?
Something to do with that masked freak on the net?
That's my boss.
Wonderful. Can't wait.
At the hideout we meet Vergil, who fans of the series already know and thank God has white hair. He explains how Demon Overlord Mundus, who at this point we have seen in a few cutscenes, controls the world through depth, surveillance, lies and force. He hopes to find an ally in Dante, as for his whole life he already had to fight demons. The latter declines, but Vergil persists that he wants to show him just one thing and then he can go. At this abandoned house, 3 things await Dante. The memories of his past, 2 new weapons and more enemies to kill. First, as a present from Daddy Spada, you unlock the heavy damage Axe Arbiter, really able to bring the pain. And from Mom Eva, you get the Scythe Osiris, really useful against groups of enemies. These two are also really interesting for another reason. Pressing the shoulder buttons equips either Axe or Scythe, Devil or Angel mode. As you learn, Dante takes a note from Nero. In Devil mode you're able to pull bodies to you, and with Angel mode you close the gap, pulling you to them. This enables you to never stop your combos, as with this your mobility is increased greatly. Also, this mechanic is the main thing in the platforming segments of the game, mixing pulling to and pulling to you to reach your goal. Not really challenging, but stylish. One thing they thankfully got rid of in the definitive edition is that colored enemies were only hittable by the corresponding weapons. Probably the worst decision for a game about creating your own stylish combos is interrupting you and tell you what weapon to use. For some reason they didn't go all the way, so they still get no hits done if it's the wrong weapon, but at least you don't bounce off them anymore. Back to our little resistance group, Dante now remembers the fact that Vergil is his brother.
You're my brother.
Your twin brother.
And is ready to take down Mundus, responsible for killing Mom and banishing Dad. Now on the team, Vergil tells Dante how they are Nephilim, a mix of angel and devil, the only thing Mundus fears. Check out the awesome Mark Echo scaling up art, going along with Vergil's story, really cool.
He's down.
No! God damn it! They have nothing left in their health bars! Ah, fuck.
The two get found by the demons, triggering the next mission, forcing Dante to run and kill more foes while at it. At this point you get an idea how this game really plays like, now that you have a great amount of abilities, and I have to say, I forgot how good this game feels. Combos are easy to pull off, the mobility is great, and you have a good enemy variety. Also each time the music kicks in you really get hype for a fight, and it keeps the pace with the action till the end. Let's talk about the man himself though. On this playthrough I was waiting for Dante to be really insufferable, but actually he's just a pretty nice guy.
I trust you. You can trust me too.
He rescued me. I was in a foster home. My foster father was a demon. He attacked me most nights. I had to get out.
Nightmares.
It's okay. I felt nothing. I couldn't physically escape, so I found another way. I aimlessly wandered Limbo in spirit form. I found Vergil there. He heard my cry for help. He helped me to deal with the demons, both figuratively and literally. I killed the bastard. Now I want to deal with them all. You're gonna stick with us to the end, right?
Count on it.
If anything, he's somewhat boring and not as much of a goof than regular Dante is. The internet for some reason made me believe that he is really edgy. He's not. There are some lines in this game that are so bad, I can't believe someone on Ninja Theory actually wanted them in.
Mundus is behind the vault door. Let's not keep him waiting. And I got a bigger dick. And I got a bigger dick.
Well, they took one out in this edition, but they need to do like 3 more and everything would be okay.
The world is at last your bitch, as am I. Nothing left but to grab it by the hair, bend it over and...
Dante and Cat are tasked to kill the Succubus, who is responsible for creating the world's favorite mind control drink. No, not this one. It's virility.
It'll kill you.
The area is visually really cool, but at this point I have nothing new to say. The game just flows. So after dialogue that would make Shakespeare jealous...
Want to kill me? You can't kill me! I'm 1,200 years old!
You don't look a day over 12,000.
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
Fuck you!
You kill the Succubus and get a new weapon for it. Very Devil May Cry like. Next up is taking down the Bob O'Reilly parody Barbas and his media empire.
At Grius's church. He goes by the name of Dante. Remember his face, people. If you see him, inform the police immediately, but do not approach him. He has a history of physical violence and is a known sexual deviant. This is Bob Barbas, just doing God's work.
Visually, this is the coolest level of the game, as in Limbo everything is upside down, because the prison exists in the reflection of the TV station. They should have gone for even more extreme level effects, kinda like Evil Within sometimes has crazy level stuff in it. The transforming twisting levels are a strong point of the game, but not done to the maximum.
Hey, Bob. Put a spin on this.
My personal view on the terrorists is that they are disgusting, degrading, ghastly, sleazy, prurient, and generally nauseating. The worst of them is Dante. The whole world would benefit greatly by his non-existence.
I'm taking you off the air.
You think so? I wouldn't bet on it, you little shit.
The next boss fight has these crazy light effects. It demands a bit of movement, and going inside the news report really fits the style of this game. While you're busy beating up the newsman, the cops started a raid on your friends, so you're off to help them as quick as possible. This leads to the most interesting section gameplay wise, at least on paper. Dante himself is not able to freely go out and in Limbo, and Cat is in somewhat of a tight spot, so you have to find a way to help her across dimensions. However, the idea is more interesting than the execution, as you can see. But, good try. Old Vergil never heard of failsafes while backing up your data, so you have to stand your ground while he and Cat copy fast. Sucks for Cat, but D and we can't help her from Limbo, and Vergil is pretty quick to leave her behind, showing his darker side for the first time. I forgot to mention it, but Dante met a demon in the media tower prison with a hole in his head. They told him that Mundus' girlfriend Lilith is pregnant. So new plan, Dante gets up to drag Lilith out of her club.
Them into soulless demon collaborators.
Whoa,
She'll be there tonight.
you're not coming in. You're not on the list.
I am now.
The club level is really cool, with strong bass and vibrant colors. You make your way through different combat challenges Lilith gives you. Upon reaching her, you better get ready for something weird though. Welcome to the final stretch of the game. So, after some old-fashioned child murder,
The fuck?
and getting back Cat, she develops a plan to get through Mundus' skyscraper, complete with Ocean's voiceover and a great sketchy artifact.
Here, you will rendezvous with Vergil.
Seems we underestimated Cat.
I didn't.
You really care about her. About all of this. You once said you didn't give a shit.
Take the elevator up to floor 154.
You piss Mundus off, he gets God of War huge, and you beat him in a disappointingly standard way. Everything seems fine, and the happy end is in sight, but of course there still is the Vergil heel turn teased throughout the game, even if you not really agree with his reasoning.
The path is clear for us to rule.
Obviously, you beat his ass, and he retreats. This is where the base game ends, but as a special DLC, we got the Vergil's Downfall campaign. Don't worry, it's included in the Definitive Edition. As the name suggests, you take control over the other twin brother, complete with his own gameplay style, upgrade tree, double trigger, challenges, and double angel mode. Replaying this really put things in perspective for me, as in wow, this should have been in the main game, but yeah. As you can see in the fact that all cutscenes are made in art to save money and time, this was made rather quickly. Doing demon samurai stuff complete with summoned swords, doppelgangers, and
I need more power.
is as much fun as you thought it would be. But that's not even all you get in this deal. With the two campaigns you also get bloody palettes for both characters to test your might against waves of foes and bosses alike. Tossed in there are also turbo mode, 60 FPS, skins for both demon hunters, new difficulty modes and menu toggles. It's a really good deal, this Definitive Edition. So in my books, DmC is a pretty great game, especially in the Definitive Edition. I really would have been interested in the Vergil's Downfall T sequel by Ninja Theory that now we will never get, as there would have been tons of stuff to build upon. But now that 5 is going to do just that, here are my ideas that, in my opinion, would have made the reboot more interesting. 1. Dante changed his mind about the Resistance after mission 2. Why not start with him working with Vergil in the first place? Just to sum up the backstory? Just have a voiceover at the start. I mean, that's all you needed in 3.
You've heard of it, haven't you? The legend of Sparta? When I was young, my father would tell me stories about it.
2. Make Vergil playable and give him some missions to mix up playing as Dante in the normal story. I mean, come on, you don't even see him fight until the end, but he obviously was always meant to do more than just throwing knives. 3. Make sure that all bosses are visually on the level of Barbas and or gameplay level wise on Vergil, especially Mundus and the Hunter demon are underwhelming. 4. Find a way to add Vergil's downfall in the normal story, so his heel turn makes at least some sense. Actually, there's a point in the Mundus fight in which he is sucked inside the devil juice. That would be the perfect point to corrupt his mind or something, kinda Neo Angelo style. 5. For the love of God, cut the whole Mundus child stuff, especially the hostage exchange, and child murder scenes. All of it. It has no place in a Devil May Cry game and is just terrible.
You don't fuck with a god.
And that's pretty much it. DmC is a super fun game that had a lot of potential to be great in sequels. Do I want it to replace the Dante we all know and love?
Not in a million years.
But especially the Definitive Edition is a worthwhile cheap purchase for all fans of stylish combat. We all have to play something while we wait for Devil May Cry 5 anyway.